All right, we're live. We're rolling. We're here with Kyra Batara.
What's up? Yeah, you got it.
We just had this conversation 2 seconds before we started. I was like, I'm going to say your name as fast as I can.
So get it out of the way.
So you don't mess up.
All right.
So we're here in Las Vegas. Made a special trip all the way out here to come interview you. Just you. No one else.
I hope that was the
I was
case.
like, I'm driving out.
I'm not special.
Yes, you are. You are one of my favorite fighters.
Woo.
Started following you on social media. Don't know how, don't know why, but I'm glad I did. And I was going to tell you this while we were talking, but the reason. Go ahead, throw out your handle right now, so anybody who isn't
Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all the same. Kyra Batara, spelled with a Y, not an I. That's why people call me Kyra.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Kyra Batara on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Okay, so I have to tell you, your Instagram is the best to follow.
Yes.
Because of you just dance on it 24/7.
All the time. You gotta keep it fun.
No,
I just have so much fun.
You really do. Like I just first of all, how do you just find someone to always hold the camera for you? That's my biggest problem. Is no one holds it, no one's following me with my phone. No one's. I can't. I'm always dancing. I probably would challenge you to a dance competition, and I'd probably beat you.
Well, you know,
I've seen your moves. I've seen your moves. You haven't seen mine, and I get told often that they're surprised at how good of a dancer I am.
Ooh, I look forward to seeing some dance moves now. Well, you know, like I've gotten really good at the self timer. So with most of my pictures and most of my videos are just me kind of like taking like 10-20 minutes like setting up my phone. And I'm like, all right, ready, go.
Okay, I am
super just friendly and just like, hey, would you mind like doing this? I totally do it all the time.
Because then I'd be terrified they'd just run away with my phone. No, I'm not scared of that. I just never want to inconvenience people.
Oh,
I'm like, they do not.
I'm the person at Disneyland like, hey, take a picture, please.
I can't do it. I don't know where do you get the guts to do that?
You know, it's funny. My mom, when I was little, we'd be at parks and she'd be like, go be friends with that person. So ever since I was really little, my mom would like make me get in these awkward situations and be like, go talk to that person. Like some old guy sitting on the bench, like go ask him how his day is. And like my mom always put me in these super awkward positions because I was a shy kid. I was super shy, but she'd make me do these things. Where now, like as an adult, I'm like, oh, it's no big deal.
That starts giving me anxiety. That's giving me anxiety right now. I couldn't do that. I couldn't. Like so by nature, I'm very shy.
Okay.
Like I force myself to be outgoing, but my mom never. Like when I was younger, no, I was shy up until I was in my 20s, like super shy.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of people who know me are like, no, you weren't. Like I played football and I was on whatever. I was hung out with the popular kids, but unless you were part of my group, like when we would all go to like a party or something, I wouldn't talk to anybody outside of my group. And so I don't know.
Not me. I'll be like, I love your shoes. Let's be friends.
Speaking of shoes, I was told these shoes were not good enough to get me into a club in Vegas.
Don't ask me. I've lived here for 4 years. I've been to 2 clubs.
What?
I'm super social, but I swear, I'm like a 40-year-old in like a 20-year-old's body. Just like, I hate the club scene. I hate it.
I feel like these are classy. But dancing, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I look at the girls and they're in these like short little skirts and these high heels. I'm like, girl, you're dancing till like 4 a.m. and that. Why?
But you don't have to do that. Yeah, apparently. But well, you got to dress up all fancy. Yeah. Someone's like, your shoes aren't going to cut it. I'm like, these are classic Adidas. They shouldn't go anywhere.
Don't ask me. I don't get it. Okay. I don't get it. That's what I told you. Downtown is where
I know. You hooked me up. You told me the spot to go that I was going to go to anyways.
Perfect.
But then my group messed it up.
See, I'm not going to yell at you there.
I'm not going to badmouth any of the clubs because if anybody ever wants to throw money our way, I'll take it. But the club we went to was not. It was not great. But let's get to some questions because. The reason I do these interviews is because athletes, they do so much, they put so much into like their craft and what they're trying to accomplish, and they just at any level, people need to know who they are. Like you're going to be someone that people are going to be watching one day. I have no doubt you're going to make it to the highest level of fighting. You're young, and you've got a good style, you've got a good head on your shoulders, and one of the things that was, the description that was given about you was, she's confident. That was when I asked our mutual friend Destiny, like, I was like, you know, how is she? She's confident.
That's awesome.
Which is a great, like, either that speaks a lot to you or it speaks a lot to how Destiny sees me, because she knows that I like people who are confident. So either she was trying to sell you, or she was
Shout
just saying
out to Destiny, we love you.
Or, but that was the one thing that she said was, oh, it was like, it wasn't like, oh, she's so fun, or you guys are going to be able to, like, it was, oh, you're going to love her, she is so confident.
And I love that, like, especially, like, people always ask me, like, why do you fight, like, what do you see yourself as a fighter, like, what do you want to be known as, and, honestly, like, I'm not trying to fight to be in the UFC, I'm not trying to fight to just be, like, collect all these belts. I love fighting, but I love the confidence that it's brought me. Like I said, I was a really shy kid. I was super insecure, I was a cheerleader, I was trying so hard to be that super, like you see on movies, the confident girls are the pretty cheerleaders with the hair and the makeup, and so I thought, like, oh, if I'm a cheerleader, I would be able to be like that. I would be able to be confident. I was a flyer. I was one of the top girls for cheer. I was at the very lead point for the dance routines. I was on a competitive hip-hop team. Throughout all those years, it was the most insecure I've ever been. Like, I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I wasn't pretty enough. I was always trying to make sure my hair was perfect. Like, nothing was ever good enough. And it wasn't until I started fighting where I just found this new confidence in myself, where I just believed in myself. I loved the body I was in. I didn't care about my weight anymore, regardless of cutting weight. You know? But, like, I was comfortable in my own skin. I felt so good. And that was the first time ever. And so that's why, like, with fighting, I'm trying to create this platform where I can inspire other people and be like, look, like, you don't have to be a fighter, but if you do jiu-jitsu, like, I promise you, it's going to do so much for you. Your confidence levels are going to shoot through the roof. And, like, I also believe that through jiu-jitsu, it helps with being bully-proof.
Oh, for sure.
To be bully-proof, because you're getting this new confidence where you believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself and you show a new level of confidence, people are going to feel like, I can't bully that person. Like, they're so happy all the time. They're so confident. Like, why would I want to bully that person? And even if they do bully you, like, it's kind of like, oh, you just brush it off. You don't care. It doesn't, like phase you as much. Well, and so that's the whole, like, ultimate goal with MMA is, like, to just stay confident, keep myself in a perfect perspective in life, and always being happy, and then showing everybody else, like, this is what I do to be confident, like, this is what you need to do. Help inspire everybody else.
No, I agree with you 100% on all of that. And I love that you brought up jiu-jitsu, because out of all the forms of out of all the martial arts, jiu-jitsu is my favorite. And you talk about being bully-proof, and also a few episodes back we had this jiu-jitsu specialist out in Utah who teaches a lot of women self-defense. And again, jiu-jitsu is when you're in the moment, jiu-jitsu is the most effective as far as self-defense in those situations. And so, again, you get confidence, you're getting confidence, learning this martial art, learning this form, and then it's applicable to life. And I'm a huge advocate of jiu-jitsu. I love it. I love it over anything, because your fight's going to the ground anyways.
It is.
Your fight's going to the ground.
Always. And I'll tell people like interview me and they're like, so what's your game plan? Are you trying to keep it a secret? And I'm like, no, I'm going to double leg her. I'm going to stay on the ground. Like, I don't care. Like, stop my double leg. I dare you.
So why do you go double leg over single leg? I only do single leg.
I'm a bully. I'm such a bully. Like, single legs are pretty and like, but it's so embarrassing. Like, you get double leg. I lift girls every time. I'll lift them. But how lame is that? Like, okay, like, what am I going to do? Like, my feet are off the ground. Like,
it's embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing.
You're right. You're a bully.
I'm
such a bully.
I'm like talking about being bullied. But when I'm in the ring, it's a different story. That's how I got my name Mogwai.
Yes, you're allowed to bully. You're allowed to bully in the ring. But because I was watching your film and I was like, she is a double leg machine.
That every time. Every time.
And being southpaw, that leg is always there for me. It's always there for me. Throw overhand, ankle pick. I'll do that. That's my.
Don't get me wrong. I love single legs. Single legs are beautiful, but
and I just felt like, because I was a football player, so a double leg to me, the technique was never right. It was always just a tackle.
You run
it was
right
always
through
just a tackle.
Yeah.
So I just look like Goldberg with a spear in there. And so I just was like, no, I'm just going to snatch up this leg that's just sitting right here. So I've become a huge fan of the single leg. But yeah, no, wrestlers, the double leg takedown is the most embarrassing. When you go and your legs are caught and you just can't do anything.
Well, because you could flare the legs and you're straight to side control too. Like with single leg, sometimes it gets in a battle of trying to pass the guard. Sometimes they recover half guard. And with double legs, it's like, nope, I'm going to flare your legs right to side control every time.
So when did you get into wrestling? Because you started with jiu-jitsu, right? I
started with submission wrestling. So at Team Quest in Gresham, they called no-gi submission wrestling. I started with Matt Lindland over at Team Quest in Gresham. And I fell in love with it really quick. I started in 2008. I just quit cheer. My dad wanted me to learn self-defense. I was the only girl on the mat at the time. Keep in mind, this 2008, like, women's MMA was still kind of like, I don't know if girls should be really doing this or not.
They're
like, women will never be in the UFC. And so I was the only girl there. Nobody wanted to partner with me. I was 13 years old, 112 pounds. And so I was just a little kid.
Yeah.
And it was like I was too old to be in the kids class and then really young in the adults class. It was just that awkward time to start. But I was always a daddy's girl growing up, so he got me into it. I got to partner up with him every day, and being that I got a bond with my dad, I just like wanted to learn so much more.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like I get to hang out with my dad. This is so cool. We'd go home every night, YouTube videos, practicing at home. We just like lay out a blanket in our bonus room, our playroom, and then we'd play out a blanket and drill jiu-jitsu. So I got really good really quick.
Yeah.
Within 3 months, they're like, you should compete. I competed at my first tournament within 3 months, beat up high school boys, 140 and under. And I'm this like 13-year-old, like 112 pounds. These are like 15-year-old boys, 140. Wow. I like get an armbar my first match. Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
This is better than any cheer performance I've ever had in my life. Like, so after that, it was like, it was over. That was the dream. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to invest all my time. It was summer of 8th grade. I was going into high school. And I was like, no, I just want to do this. Sign me up for every single tournament. Yeah. So every single tournament, my mom signed me up. Sub League, Oregon Open, like all the ones in the Northwest. Well, I was beating up everyone where it was like, all right, well, now what? Like, I want to start, I want more. I want more. And I did my first tournament that summer for Kids Worlds in LA. And so it was my first time traveling for a world tournament. And when I went down there, I was training at Fisticuffs at the time. George Soteropoulos, who was in the UFC, recommended me to go see Eddie Bravo. He goes, if you're in LA, go train with Eddie Bravo. I've been working this system. It's called 10th Planet. It's really cool. They do just different techniques that you aren't going to learn at traditional schools. I was like, all right, I trust you. Let's do it. Yeah. So I go into 10th Planet. This is when they're like at the strip club, like they have like the pole dancers, and I'm like, where are we? There's like pole dancers here. We have to walk upstairs. So there's like pole dancers. We walk upstairs, and there's just like this like grungy room. Like everyone's like hairy, and it's not Team Quest. So I'm like, where are we? It just smells like weed. And I met Eddie.
Eddie's got some conspiracy theory.
I'm 13. I'm like, I don't know. Like I've never been around this before.
Yeah.
And but I told him, I was like, hey, I'm doing worlds, like I think you're so cool, and like he rolls with me a little bit, and I was like, just shot in the dark, like, hey, would you be willing to coach me at worlds this weekend? Like I didn't realize how big he was. Like it's Eddie Bravo, but I was like, hey, like I'm competing, would you coach me? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. Sure enough, he shows up, he corners me at worlds, and I take home gold. And he was like, you're amazing, like you're gonna be a champion one day. And at 13 years old, winning your first world title and having Eddie Bravo in your corner telling you you're going to be a world champion one day.
Have confidence?
Oh, like,
how do you not get
all
confidence?
right, I'm doing this.
How did your head
this
get to that
is
door?
My freaking, this is my path. This is what I was meant to do. And he exchanged numbers with me, and he was like, hey, if you want to be an MMA fighter, if this is really your goal, you have to wrestle. And I was like, like I don't even know, like I don't feel comfortable in the jiu-jitsu room half the time because nobody wants to partner with me. And now you want me to wrestle? There's no girls in the wrestling room. So I did it. Like he told me, he's like, you want to be a fighter, you want to be the best, you need to wrestle. He forced me to wrestle. I hated it. I freaking hated it. The guys were mean to me. They told me I didn't belong there. Like, people were bullying me because, keep in mind, I was a cheerleader right before. So I was a cheerleader in 8th grade. Freshman year, all of a sudden, I chopped my hair. I'm wearing tap-out sweatpants, and I'm on the wrestling team. Like, what happened? But it was hard. It was a really hard transition. But through the years, it helped that my mom was super involved. My dad was coaching me. My brother was also always doing it with me. So he was in 1st grade at the time. But just that I wanted to be the good role model for him, I was like, no, like, I'm wrestling. I'm sticking to it. I'm doing this full time. So I was really involved with that. And I just started wrestling, and I became obsessed with it. I was like, no, Eddie told me that I was going to be the best in the world. If this is going to make me the best in the world, I'm going to do it. Bullied so bad that I ended up being homeschooled sophomore, junior, senior year. I was just like, I'm over it. I know I want to be a fighter. So I was fortunate enough to sophomore, junior, senior year just focus on wrestling. I wrestled all 3 years. I was the first ever since, I think my school opened in 72, first ever boy or girl to make it to the state finals. And so, I made it to the state finals, and I was like, dope, like, I'm going to keep this. Eddie was so right. This is the best thing I could have done. And so that's why every single fight, I'm like, no, I'm going to stick to my wrestling. Like, Eddie told me that's what was going to make me a champion. Like, why would I stray away from that? So I do practice the other disciplines, but wrestling's the go-to. That's my money moves.
That is awesome.
Yes.
So when you talk about bullying, so we... I think we have a lot of young viewers, a lot of kids who are dealing with that right now. I think everybody experiences bullying a little bit, but to be to the point where you had to like quit school, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Like, what was it? And so, of course, bullying in my day and age, I'm a little bit older than you. In 2008, I was definitely not.
You weren't in 8th grade.
I definitely wasn't in 8th grade. Mine was the old school bullying. You show up to school, there's a bully there, you go home, and it's over. They're done. You don't see them again until the next day. Nowadays, kids don't
can't escape from it. It's on Instagram, it's on Facebook.
And so I'm guessing during 2008, or during that time, yours was more than just showing up to school. It was probably something that followed you home. How did you maneuver through that? Obviously, you left school, but how did you maneuver through that? How did you handle just dealing with bullying?
I cut off everyone that had a negative effect on me. It's all about who you surround yourself with. Like, I'm a firm believer in just surrounding yourself by positive energy. And so I only had like maybe 5 friends. And I was totally cool with that. I was super family oriented. I come from a very family oriented. So like my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, they all just hung out with me. We played card games. We'd go on bike rides. We'd walk the dog. So I stuck with my family all the time. But all my friends were in the gym with me. They had similar goals as me, similar ambitions. We all stayed with the same group. And so, I think that you should branch out and make other friends, but make friends that have similar goals as you. Only surround yourself with people that are building you up. And it's cool to have lots of friends. It's cool to be popular. But when it's getting to the point where you feel like it's just taking a toll on you, it's making you lead off your path, you're having negative energy in your life, think about what are you doing that's causing these negative things in your life. Are you surrounding yourself by the wrong people? Do you have no goals in life? Is it because you go to school, you're just kind of quiet, you're sitting in the corner? Like, think about what am I doing in my life that is putting me in this position? And one of the things I noticed that when I was so caught up in my fights and my wrestling and focusing on my next match, I didn't have time to focus on getting bullied. I was so focused on winning my match. I didn't care. I was like, I don't care if you think that I'm ugly. I don't care if you're making fun of my shoes. Like, I'm going to win this wrestling match. And so that's why I always tell kids, like, when they're getting bullied in high school, I'm like, all right, well, what are you doing? Like, are you in sports? Are you focusing on something? Are you working on a project? Are you in clubs? I think it's so important to keep these kids active and keep them on a goal. As long as they have goals in life, it's very hard to be bullied. It's so hard to be bullied when you're ambitious, when you're passionate, when you're surrounding yourself by people that love you. You can't get bullied.
One thing that you mentioned there, I don't know if you noticed this or if this is like part of your game plan, but you said you talked about how much time you spent with your family. And I know so many kids that get bullied. You know, they're told they're worthless or whatever, and they start to believe it, and they go home from school or whatever, and then they shut themselves out from their family. And it's like your family is always there
for you.
Like even if your family is picking on you, it's always like your brother could say things, your sister could say things and it's not but they love you.
They love
you. And I hope that's the case for everybody. I hope that everybody has that that they can go like if you're experiencing bullying, like you need to reach out to the people. You need to reach out to the people, not close yourself in. You're not worthless. You're not point.
We're social creatures. We're designed to be social creatures. We're not designed to be lone wolves.
Right.
As much as people want to be introverted, as much as people are like, no, just leave me alone. I need to be by myself. We're not designed to be like that. We need to experience human emotions. We need to be able to build connections with other people. And so if you're experiencing these things in life, you need to tell someone. You can't keep that all bottled in, and that's what creates... it's really sad, the suicide rate that's happening, and I see it all the time, and I see young, talented people committing suicide, and you can't let it get to that point. If you have an issue, if you have a problem, like, don't be scared to reach out. Like I said, surround yourself by people that love you, because there's so many people in the world that love you. Like, as much as you think, like, oh, everyone hates me, like, I'm so alone, no one gets it, people get it. People totally have been there. There's always someone, whether it's an aunt, whether it's your grandpa, whether it's some kid down the street, like, you have to make these connections with people and know these authentic connections and be like, no, she's my go-to. I can tell her anything. Yeah. And you have to know those people in your life.
And so many kids, they'll look at like, oh, well, I want to be part of the popular group. And I want to be with the cheerleaders, like yourself. But that's not your tribe. Nope. Those aren't your people. Like if you're not in that group, then don't try to be in that group.
Yeah, one of my favorite sayings, your vibe attracts your tribe. Yeah. So like whatever vibe you're feeling, like that's the tribe that you should roll with. Like don't think because of social media and because of these movies and these songs, like today's culture is so crazy. Like you just see like everyone's experienced this like glamorous life on Instagram. Like their life is not that perfect. Trust me. You do not want to be like that. Like just because you look really cool on Instagram, a lot of these people aren't that cool in person. And so get to know them.
They're not part of like the social situation. They are just taking the pictures.
Exactly.
They're not experiencing life. They're just posing for pictures.
Exactly.
And
don't get me wrong. Like I posted some real cool pictures. Like I went on this road trip. I post dope pictures. I want to share. I want to share my experiences with the world. But if you're meeting these people, if you're trying to make your life by these people that you see on social media, they don't actually know, like you're in for it. Like don't try to.
And I'm sure when you're asking a random person to hold your phone so you can take a dance video, you're gonna start a conversation with that person. Sure. You're gonna get a friendship with that person.
So many friends.
They just recorded you dancing for 2 minutes. So you're still part of that like social situation, even though you're sharing who you are on your social media, and so that's and so this whole conversation is coming from two people who grew up shy. You can get even if you're shy, you can get away from it. Even if you're shy, you can figure out a way. It's uncomfortable, like as when you. Do you still consider yourself shy? You still think you're a shy person, or are you over that?
Like I do feel introverted. Like I do feel like I am by design, but like I force myself into these situations because I know the more connections that I build, like the stronger I become. And the more energy I get off that, the more I can feed off other people's energy, then I'm not shy anymore. And so like, I want to go home and just watch Netflix all night, and I don't want to like, after like a big, so if I have a fight, say I just fought, like my mom would be like, all right, get dressed up, go out, we talk to everyone, we mingle, I meet new people. The next day, I have to completely close off. I just need to shut down. I don't talk to anyone. Like, I'm completely drained. That's it. I can't do it anymore. But I think that it's like anything. It's like jiu-jitsu. It's like any kind of craft that you do. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And so being that we are shy people, like I said, the more human connections that we make, the less shy we're going to be.
No, I agree.
The more natural it's going to come to us.
That's the way it was. I mean, for me, being so shy, I mean, I was 18, and I would be at the restaurant, and I would tell my dad my order so that he could tell the waitress, because I was too shy to tell the waitress my order. Like, at 18, I was that shy. And it was rough, and it forced me fully immersing myself. I served a served a church mission, and it took that experience of being forced out on my own, not knowing anybody, and the whole point is to go out and talk to people all day, every day. That I really learned how to have a conversation, I learned how to like look people in the eye, I learned all that stuff.
You have to get out of your comfort zone.
Forcing yourself to do it as hard as it is. I mean, my stomach was in knots the entire time. I remember the very first day I threw up. Like, yeah, I got there and they were like, okay, let's go. And I was like, what? We're like jumping right into it? They're like, yeah, let's go. And I like went off into the bushes and was like, what? Like, I lost it. I was so nervous. But the 2 years I did it, I learned how to...
Life-changing, right?
I learned how to talk, and I learned how to have conversations that weren't scary, you know? And so... But it took that. So anybody who struggles with that, like, you just have to, it's one of those things you just have to force yourself to do. You just have to force yourself to smile at somebody. You have to force yourself to have a conversation. You have to. And once you start doing it, I mean, I still get shy. I still get really shy. But once you start, it gets easier, and then you realize people aren't that scary. You know, not everyone's out to get you.
Yep, right.
So, no, I love that you said all that. And so the big question is, now, once you became this monster wrestler and jiu-jitsu, did you take any group bullies out? I'm breaking it wrong.
No, I actually moved away. So that's the thing too. Like, well, after I graduated, my dad hated Washington. It rains all the time. He's like, I need to get out of here. I need some sun. Like, it is so depressing here. And I was like, you know, like, let's do it. Like, I know my goal is MMA, and I can travel wherever for that. Like, as long as I'm with my family, because my brother is my main training partner. My dad's my coach. Like, yeah, let's move. I don't care. My mom manages me. Okay. And so we moved to Vegas. We picked up, moved to Vegas. My dad came out here about 5 months before us. He got a job over at the hospital, and so he's just looking around for 5 months, just kind of viewing the schools, looking at housing, everything. So it sucked being away from him for that long. But once he found a spot, we all picked up, moved down, and everything was perfect. I found a gym. I trained at Cobra Kai. They were all like these little Filipino guys. It was perfect. My brother was going to a really good school. My sister graduated from Coronado. They have a really good wrestling team over there. So it was perfect. I thought it was a good move, just having a fresh start, knowing that I have one goal in mind, getting away from distractions, getting away from everything that I grew up from. Like I said, separating myself from those negative energies. So I was like, no, like, this is where I was getting bullied, like, just because, like, I'm gonna make a name for myself, like, now you guys want to be my friends, like, bye, I'm moving to Vegas. So I mean, I have had a lot of people reach out to me, and I remember like certain people that were like, whoa, you think you're a fighter? Oh, you think you're gonna be a badass one day? And like now they're like, oh my gosh, like, you're doing so awesome. Or they'll reach out to me like, oh, how do you get these sponsors? Oh, can you hook it up with them? Like, screw you guys, like, get out of here. So, I mean, I try not to hold grudges. I do keep in mind, like, I keep a close eye on the people that I'm like, I remember you. But everyone, you gotta just be nice. Like, you never know what people are going through, and it was so long ago too. I hate people when they're just like, oh, this guy screwed me over like 10 years ago. It's like, dude, that was so long ago. Like, get over it. Like, life is short. People are going through, everyone is facing their own battle, and that's what you don't realize. And like we were saying with the people that are having troubles in their life, getting bullied, committing suicide, like, everyone is going through a battle that you do not know. And so that's why I think you just need to smile. You need to make these connections. Like, you never know, like, saying hi to someone on the street, like, could completely change their life. So it's all about making those connections with people, being in a positive energy for other people.
No, I agree. My bully, I only had one. Well, I had three. I had 3 bullies, and I've seen them all. I Facebook stalked them, and I was like, I would kill them. So that was confident. I didn't need any more. I didn't need to find them. I didn't need to say anything to them.
Like, I'm in a good
but I was like, I would kill these guys. I would, all 3 of them at the same time. I would destroy them right now. So that was again. It was just MMA that had got me that confidence. Because I had never imagined getting into a fight. Even though, like, I played football, it was a super aggressive sport, I never imagined, like, taking a punch. Like, I thought I was made of glass. I thought the moment I got hit, I was just going to shatter, you know? And so, like, and so MMA, just like we've been talking about, it's just like, do you remember the moment when you were just like, I have confidence now? Like, I'm I don't have to be afraid, or I don't have, like, do you remember that moment, or did it just, like, slowly build?
I think it was just slowly all together, just a mixture, because I was training so much and competing so much.
All of a sudden, you're just
all
like,
of a sudden,
oh, wait,
I look around and I'm like, I'm kind of a new person, huh? This is kind of cool.
I can handle my own in any situation. Yeah. No, that's good. Like, I don't remember that specific moment when I was like, I can handle my own. But, like, I'll walk into a place now and I'll be like, scan it, and I'll be like, I don't have to be afraid. Like, I don't have to be nervous. I don't have to, like, I can handle myself in this situation.
Yes.
And that is such, like, a freeing feeling. That's, like, even if you're never going to take a fight, like, I don't ever plan on taking another fight, but I plan on training for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I plan
it does so much for you.
Yeah. Because it honestly, like, I take the lessons that I learned from martial arts into business, into what I'm trying to create with Athletic Republic and in this podcast, Undefeated by Choice. I take the things I learned in that and the confidence I get from that, like being able to go to a gym and be like, I'm going to spar this guy. I don't know who he is, but I'm going to do it because I know my ability. I can take that same into, like, business and be like, I don't know if you guys are going to say yes to what I'm going to propose, but I'm going to propose it anyways because why not? Let's do it. Let's start throwing some punches. You know?
Hell yeah.
So you know, it's so important. Like, I just think parents, especially if your kid is struggling with bullying or struggling with self-confidence,
find your nearest jiu-jitsu gym
for real.
now.
And it's jiu-jitsu. Honestly, I don't know what it is, but it's jiu-jitsu. I stopped being afraid of sparring when I got good at jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Just because I was like, oh, because I'm going to take you down. You know, like, you can hit me so many times, but when we're on the ground, you're not punching me anymore. And so then you're in trouble. Yeah. And so I really think it's jiu-jitsu.
See, and one thing that I always said to people, too, was that, like, I always saw jiu-jitsu as combat yoga. And so I always told them, like, no, it's like combat yoga. Trust me, you'll be fine. Yeah. And they're like, what are you talking about? And then I get jiu-jitsu people, and I'm like, dude, you need yoga. Yeah. Go do yoga. Yeah. And jiu-jitsu guys do yoga, and they're like, oh, I get it. Yes. And so I think those two things go hand in hand. So especially, like, females that are just, like, they want to get into something and they don't really feel like that combat aspect is what they want right now, start with yoga. Yeah. Do some yoga, understand your body, figure out how your body works, learn some basic fundamentals of body awareness and finding that strength. Once you're cool with yoga, jump into jiu-jitsu. If you're in jiu-jitsu, you probably need some yoga. So those things go hand in hand, and I'm like, I do hot yoga, yes.
Yeah, is it exclusively hot yoga?
The ones that I've done, I haven't done it. I go to True Fusion. True Fusion is an amazing gym in Vegas. We have 3 locations. We have a Summerlin location, a Blue Diamond location, and an Eastern location. 32 classes a day from 6 a.m. to 10 at night. So it's great, especially being a fighter. Because, like, I never know my schedule. It's so hard, and sometimes there's traffic. Sometimes I get caught up doing a PT. Sometimes, like, I'll get stuck on a phone call. Sometimes I'll be doing an interview a lot longer than I planned. And then it's like, oh, well, I missed this class. There's going to be 3 other classes in the next 5 minutes. Yeah. And so that's what I love about True Fusion. They have battle ropes. They have boxing. They have yoga, Pilates, cycling. The bikes move side to side. They have so many different classes, and so those are like my go-tos when I'm not training MMA.
Yeah. So I can't do yoga.
Really? Everyone can do yoga. You can't say you can't do yoga.
I can't. I got bullied. I had 4 bullies. I got bullied in yoga.
I remember another one.
Yeah, I got bullied in yoga.
How do you get bullied in yoga?
This lady was like, she's like, I was feeling pretty confident. I was going like twice a week doing hot yoga, and I ran into this lady outside of it, and she was like, I was like, yeah, I really like yoga. I like it. I feel like I'm getting good. She's like, yeah, you're just like muscle yoga. Like, you're just like, and it's like she was like making fun of it. She was body shaming me.
No way.
She was body shaming me for like taking care of my body and then trying to do yoga. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's so frustrating. I'm going to make you do it. Next time you're in Vegas, I'm making you do yoga with me.
Yeah. I love it. I want to do it more. I love it. I'd be happy. I would be happy to. I've always thought if I had more free time, that's the one thing I would add to my routine. Like, that's the first thing I would add to my routine.
I make sure it's a routine for me. Like, I have to do yoga. I'm like, no, like, I'm gonna get punched in the face, let's go do some yoga. It helps your mental game so much. And I honestly believe that MMA, like, the biggest thing that you can do for your MMA career is making sure your mind's on point.
Yeah.
Like, if your mind is in so many different places and you go into that fight, like, you can train as hard as you want. If you don't have the right mindset, like, it's going to be a different story.
So how do you shut down your, how do you shut down your mind in yoga? Like, are you thinking about one thing specifically?
Being present. You've got to be present. That's the great thing about yoga.
What does that mean? I hear that all the time.
Everyone's like, be present. What do you mean?
I hear that.
Trust me, I know.
What does it mean to be present?
To be present is you're being in the moment. You're accepting everything that's happening to you right now. That life isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. And so right now you have to like really absorb everything that's happening right now. Like, I've been into yoga and I would be crying like in my car, like, oh my God, like my life is a mess right now. Like, I'm fighting with this person. I need to work on wrestling. Like, my weight isn't where it needs to be. I go into yoga and I'm like, you forget everything. Like, go in there and just like be there. Just be there. Why are you here? Because I'm trying to get good at yoga. Like, so just get good at yoga.
So you're thinking about
like,
what you're doing in yoga.
Else.
You're not like, okay, I'm going to accept that I'm having a hard time right now.
Just
you're
let it go.
Literally just thinking
let
like,
it go.
oh, I'm bending over at the hips.
No, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not. You don't even think. You know.
I want to do this right. I want to do this right.
You can't focus. Okay. You know how like when you're fighting and then you see someone that's learning how to hit pads for the first time and they're like super aggressive and like punching them.
I
like,
still do that.
Just relax.
That's still me.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Okay.
Just do it.
Okay.
And so it's hard to explain because you just gotta like, it's one of those things you can't force it. You just have to let it be. Let it go.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about yoga. Like, at the end of class, we'll finish our practice and we'll lay down and they're just like, all right, now just lay there. Yeah. Just lay there. And like, so many people are like, I have so much to do. Like, I gotta go. I gotta be here. And it's like, no, just lay down. Like, you have a minute.
Yeah.
You have 1 minute. You have 24 hours in your day. I think you have 1 minute to just lay down and just like relax.
It's true, but I didn't know what to think about, so I would just lay there and I'd be like, do I lay here?
How much longer?
How
You're like looking around. Who else is getting up? I don't want to be the first one getting up.
How long do I lay here to make it look like I'm really getting into this? Like, how long? I loved it though. I loved it, and like I've always thought like, you know, doing hot yoga. Like, if you're doing a weight cut, go to hot yoga.
Oh, I did one yoga class. I'm done. I'm not weight.
Yeah, get your mind off of sitting in the sauna with the sweatsuit and all that. Like, get your mind off of that. Go do yoga, get a good sweat going. I've always wanted to tell my fighters, but I don't know.
That's why I tell everyone, if they're fighters, if you're a fighter in Vegas, why are you not at True Fusion? Yeah. If you're a fighter in Vegas, do one boot camp class. I'll do that. Sometimes, like, I'll be a week out from a fight. I'll throw on my sauna suit. I'll go into a hot class. It'll be like boot camp, and I'll let them know. I'm like, hey, I have a fight coming up. I'm just going to jump rope in the corner. But they have music going. The energy's going. Everyone's, like, swinging kettlebells, getting it. And I'm just in the room just smiling, jump roping. I'm losing weight right now. Like, chilling. But it's so cool. I always tell everyone, I'm like, go to True Fusion. You'll love it.
So are weight cuts tough for you? Or are you...
Weight cuts are never easy. Don't get me wrong. I've definitely missed weight. It's one of those things where, like, you have to calculate it. I honestly believe that, like, especially in women, like, stress plays a huge part in your weight cut. Like, if you're stressed out, you don't lose weight. Yeah. And that's one thing that I've noticed. And so I have done. That's why I do recommend yoga. Just because, like, I was stressing myself out. Like, I'd get really bad anxiety before fights. And I let a lot of things bother me. And things, like, little things. And I'd just be like, oh my gosh, this person's mad at me. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. You're fine. Just focus on your fight. But I'd let all these things affect me. And it would affect my weight cut a lot. And as I got older, after cutting weight for so many years, like, my body wasn't the same. In high school, I could go eat Taco Bell and then go cut weight and be fine. Cut 10 pounds that day. And now I'm older. I'm like, I'm not old. I'm 23. I'm 23. But now that I'm not in high school anymore, and I'm like, I eat a freaking piece of pizza and I gain 10 pounds.
That's your thing too, pizza, right?
Yes. It's such a problem. I mean, I have donuts on my shirt.
Come on, I love pizza on your phone.
I love food. Yeah. So it's hard. It's one of those things. It's a learning experience, but majority of people, like, when you're doing that last water cut, for sure, like, that's always the easiest thing. When you go to True Fusion, you just sweat it out.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it.
I
really do. I don't like the method of weight cutting right now, and with the guys I train with, I'm always just like, just stay on weight. like, I think there's a benefit to that. I think mentally it's better to just be close to the weight that you're fighting at. But I understand. I mean, especially, there's not, so there, in the next weight class up for you is 115, right?
115.
So that's a 10-pound difference.
Yeah.
So that's not, I mean.
But I'm also 4'11", so it's like I'm super short.
Yeah. It's getting to 105 is probably, I mean, having there being a 10-pound weight difference, like, to stay close to 105 is probably not realistic.
And I don't like those weight classes either. I think women are so much different than men, and I really think that it should be like more like wrestling weight classes for women. And even like, I know so many women that are like, I could totally do 110, but it's that 105 I just can't do. Yeah. So if they did like 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, that would make so much more sense. Yeah. There's so many women that could do 120, can't do 115. Yeah. There's so many people that can do 110, can't do 105. Yeah. And so it's like, why is that? I don't know, but it's women that...
I think they're just, they're going off these old standards. They're going off because it's so new. I mean, MMA is still so new. I just had a guy on last week who's like one of the pioneers in Utah, and he's my age, and he's like one of the first people to ever have a fight, an MMA fight in Utah. And he's my age, so it's so new. They're figuring it out. Like, I look at the NFL, where it started and where it is now. It's a completely different thing. So I think they're gonna get it, and I hope they figure out the weight classes. I hope they figure out the weight classes, and I do like a lot what they're doing with the cutting, as far as hydration tests and stuff like that. Like, it's so, like, your brain needs to be hydrated. Yes. And when you're forcing yourself to lose, ridiculous amounts of weight, and you're doing it through sweat, your brain is being affected.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's stupid that I was watching the Invicta fights last night. I'm not going to say who it was, but they're like, this girl, every time she fights, she comes in with like a little black eye coming into fights. I'm like, if you're sparring while you're cutting weight, you know how much damage you're doing to your brain? Like, you should not, as soon as you start cutting water out, do not spar. Yeah. Like, and you see it all the time, people pulling out of fights and like all this. It's like, you shouldn't be taking that much damage if you're cutting weight. Don't do it.
No, you shouldn't be taking.
It has a long-term effect.
You shouldn't be taking a lot of damage even when you're training.
Exactly.
Like, we talked about that beforehand. Like, I do not like camps or teams that go hard sparring all the time. There's just your head can only take so much. Exactly. And we're doing this because we love it, and we do it because it's fun, and we love the competition. But we have lives outside of this. Yes. And people need to realize and understand they have lives outside of this, and they have lives after. Like, even if you have dedicated your entire life to fighting, you're gonna have a life after, and you've got to take care of your head. And just sparring with big boxing gloves on, there's nothing to prove there. Like, work on your technique, work on your skill, get better, and don't do that. And you actually were telling me that you don't train as much as people think you do. Yeah. So how many days a week you train? How often are you sparring? How often are you working on? What's your training schedule like?
So I work weekends. I work weekends for a healthy energy drink. Totally love it. If you haven't heard of it, Zip Fizz is the best. It's the best. Like, I see so many fighters drinking all these energy drinks. I'm like, dude, why are you drinking a Red Bull? Like, what are you putting into your body right now? Zip Fizz is B12 energy. It's zero sugar. You're getting your electrolytes, your vitamin C, antioxidants, potassium, like everything you need. 2 days, your RDA vitamins for the day. I'll like say my speech. But I mean, I work for them on weekends, but then I get all the product. So I'm like, no, like, I believe in the product, so I'm able to sell the product. Yes. And so that's what's great about my job. Like, I do love my job. It's fun. I get to talk to people all day. Like, and that's the thing too. Like, I force myself to be like, hey, do you want to buy this energy drink? And so I think it puts me in really cool situations too, where I do meet a lot of people. I'm forced into this situation of making connections with people because I'm trying to sell a product. Yeah. You don't want to be a used car salesman, but you want to actually be like, hey, like, I believe in this. Yes. I believe in this product. And so I do that on weekends, and then I also coach at Title Boxing. I thought that I wanted to stray away from coaching for a while because I worked at a UFC gym for 4 years. I worked at UFC gym, and I was just like, wow, this sucks. Like, it closed. There was a UFC gym, Anthem and Blue Diamond. Sorry, not Blue Diamond, Green Valley, and they both closed down. But I was doing that and I was like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, I feel like I'm just kind of going through the motions. Like, I'm training all day. I come in, I'm like, all right, guys, let's warm up.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
1, 2 on the bag.
Yeah,
and I did it for so long where I was just like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then I started over at Title Boxing here in Henderson, Anthem. And I love it. I love being able to see people that go in there and they just want to give it their all in the bag. They work 9 to 5 and then they still come in here and they're smiling. They're just excited to see you. They're killing it on the bag. And I got so much good energy from that I was like, wow, I do love doing this. I love coaching. I love coaching my kids especially. I love coaching kids. And seeing these people and making friendships with them and being able to inspire them. I get to go in there and like, oh, you're so cool. I loved your classes. Like when they tell me after class, like, I love your classes. It's the highlight of my day. Like I come in here from work and I'm so excited to see you. You had great music, great energy. You make the workout fun. And I'm like, that's what it's about. Like I know so many people. I just want to be able to help them in their fitness lifestyle because working out sucks. Like who likes to go on the treadmill for an hour? Who likes to go on the elliptical for an hour? You know you have to do it. You know you need to pump those endorphins, but it's also like, oh, I don't want to freaking run. No. And so when you get to go there and you get to have cool friends, you have a great coach, you got awesome music going, like that's what it's about. And if I can create that environment for other people, I'm going to do it. So this whole past week, I've had probably 3-4 classes where coaches have been like, can you cover my class? Can you cover my class? I'm like, yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. Sign me up. And so like I just coached this morning. I coached 2 classes and I just go in there and I'm always smiling, having a great time. So it's cool. I get to go in there, teach a few classes, and it works around my training schedule. I'm probably working about 9 classes a week with that. And I also, like I said, I really love working with kids. So I work weekends if is about 7 to 9 classes a week, teaching classes. And then I'm also doing personal training sessions with my kids. Honestly, a lot of the kids I do for free. Just because I love them. Like, I'm just like, I want to help you. Like, I wish someone helped me when I was that. Like, it's so cool when you have someone to look up to and it's like, I've seen her on TV and she's teaching me arm bars. It's super inspiring. And especially the girls. Like, I have this girl, her name's Hazel. I just started working with her over at my gym. She's so talented, but I see that, like, I was like, man, I knew when I was 13, I was like, man, I want to be popular. That's the, like, cutoff age. When girls start at, like, young ages, they hit that middle school age where their body starts changing. They think that they need to be popular. They think that they need to dress a certain way. That's when they stop doing jiu-jitsu. So I always take the girls in right at that, like, pre-teen, teenage age. I'm like, nope, you're doing jiu-jitsu. We're going to be best friends. I'm going to teach you.
No, and you know from firsthand experience how important it is. Like you say, you gave a lot of classes away for free because I know for a fact you will always remember Eddie Bravo coming to Worlds with you. And taking that time out for you and what that has, the trajectory that has taken your life. It has. You're going to be an Eddie Bravo for someone else. I tell that story all the time. I'm like, a lot of people, like, they think, sometimes people are like, Eddie Bravo, like, he's just like a pothead, this and this. I'm like, no, like, awesome. Eddie changed my life. Like, because especially, like, when you come from, like, traditional gyms, like Gracie gyms, stuff, like, some people, like, Eddie is really respectable now, but, like, back 10 years ago, a lot of people were like, I don't believe in him. And so, like, no, it's like, no, Eddie is awesome, and, like, he did believe in me, and, like, for him to just, like, take a kid that he didn't know and be like, I'm going to take you under my wing, like, that completely changed my life, and I'll always thank Eddie for that, and I'll be 10th Planet for life. But I don't train at a 10th Planet gym here in Vegas, but, you know, like, Eddie will even say, anytime I go in Hollywood, she's like, no, Kyra's got 10th Planet in her blood. And I'm like, no, I do have 10th Planet in my blood, like, forever. Forever, I will remember that. And like you said, like, knowing that he did that for me, I'm constantly going to pay it forward and do whatever I can to inspire other people. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. So we do something on this show where I try to ask, I was going to do this in the beginning. I was going to ask funny questions, but we literally just jumped right into it. So I'm going to change the format of the show where I ask the funny questions first because I think it, like, loosens people up, but we didn't have that. Because we were talking for like an hour before this. We didn't have that issue. We jumped right into it. So it's called the Triple Threat Throwdown. My producer will put a little graphic up right now. Pop up. And the first question is, what is more annoying, vacation pictures or concert videos? Concert videos. Oh my god. No one cares. I'm sorry, but no one cares.
is like, yeah, it's cool that you went to this concert, but
I don't want to watch the whole thing from your phone.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to go, I'll go see the concert, but
I didn't say I appreciate it.
Same thing about club videos. If you're in the club, put your phone away. Stop being in the club and being like, I get it.
Give me one video to let me see how packed it is.
One is okay.
Yeah.
One is
don't even go to the full. Don't even go to
maybe
the full video. You know, like just give me a little bit. Let me know where it's at.
Snippet.
Yeah.
I don't want to go on Instagram and have to like tap next. Oh,
and it's when I look and I just see a bunch of like the little bars, and I know I'm gonna have to click through like 50 videos.
Like, don't get me wrong, I totally have been there before where I was like super drunk and just be like, yeah!
I haven't seen
I want to share this with everybody.
I want everyone to be
I want everyone to be here with me right now.
Yeah, no. We mentioned you went on the road trip. You went to see.
I went to so many shows.
Yeah, you went to shows, and I didn't see any of them.
Good.
You didn't do that, and I appreciate it.
Stayed on point with that.
If you had, I would have been calling you out right now. Like, you did that. Now, okay, so obviously your pizza's your thing, right?
Yes.
You're known for your love of pizza. Is it just pepperoni pizza?
No,
is it all types of pizza?
You know, I tried being vegan for a while, so I actually did vegan pizzas for like 3 months. I was vegan for 3 months.
And?
I'm eating fish again. I am eating fish again, but so I still don't eat pepperoni pizza.
Oh, so it's just cheese pizzas right now.
Yeah, I mean there are like I go to Vegination and they have like really good pizza there. There's a lot of places that serve really good.
Where's the pizza spot here in Vegas?
Best pizza spot?
Yeah.
Well, like ultimate pizza that I like is always BJ's Pizza. I love thick crust pizza. So and you can get BJ's like almost anywhere.
Okay.
I think there's BJ's everywhere. I don't know. Don't
not
quote me on
Utah.
that.
Not
I don't know. I'm from Washington. There's BJ's in Washington.
Yeah, not Utah.
BJ's Pizza is the best thick crust pizza. Oh my gosh, I love it. And they have the best appetizers. I think it's like half off on Wednesdays too. Half off Wednesdays. Stay till Wednesday.
I extended the trip. Okay, so that wasn't the question. I wanted to just get pizza out of it. The real question is, how many slices of pizza are you capable of eating in one sitting?
All of them.
All of that entire pizza?
But all of them. So I forgot. Someone asked me. They're like, we had a party, and he was like, "Hey, how many pizzas should I bring?" And I go, "All of them."
All of them.
They're like, "What does that even mean?" I'm like,
you know what that means. If you don't know what that means, don't even try to buy me pizza.
Next question. No, I love pizza. Like, I will eat so much. Like, right after my fights, I like going on cruises because it's all inclusive, and I get to eat whatever I want. And I'm totally that person where I'm like, yeah, can I have like 3 of these? Can I have the steak and the chicken and the lobster? And I'm also gonna have 1 of each of the desserts.
Yes,
I paid for it, so you know, just give it all.
Yeah. Yes. I've been on one cruise, and the room service was. Was that the move for you? Yeah, I just sat in my room the entire time.
See, not me. I'm the one that's in my onesie, like on deck, like eating all the pizzas on the deck.
No, I was eating in shame. I was a fat kid. I was eating in shame. I didn't want to even know how much I was eating, but I was just room service. The only person who knew was the guy bringing my room service.
See, I'll be the girl, like super cute hair, makeup done, cute dress. 3 plates in front of me. Don't care. I do not care.
Well, you know, that's I got nothing but respect for that. I got nothing but respect for that. I would rather see someone eating than not eating. I'd rather see someone enjoying their time.
See, and like I'm a huge foodie too, and I know like some people are kind of like, that's one of the things people are kind of, another thing on Instagram that people are like, oh my god, another food picture, oh my god. Like, so, but some people, they love food pictures, they love food accounts. So I do have a separate account, me and my best friend.
I didn't know about this.
We have a separate account. I know. I
thought we were best friends. I thought we were Instagram best friends. I didn't know about a secret food account.
I have a secret account, but it's me and my dude best friend, my boyfriend, but I keep it super DL, so it's just like, it's all about like fitness and food. It's all fitness and food. Me and my friend, we're doing this thing where we're trying to build a platform to have, like we were saying, doing the self-defense seminars. So we're doing these seminars together. He's a yoga instructor and a black belt, and I just really want to help women. And so I was like, no, let's get together. I've hosted 3 bully-proof seminars before. Let's do like a women's self-defense, like empowering seminar, but it doesn't even have to be just women. Let's get everyone.
Yeah.
So right now we're in the process of working on it. He's gonna teach me some yoga so I can warm everyone up, do some breathing exercises, do some yoga. We have a deep house DJ, one of our friends. He's gonna come in, DJ, and then so it's gonna be real chill.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna come in, do some yoga. We're gonna teach some self-defense. It's really cool because he's a guy, I'm a girl, so it's like it's not like a big buff guy like, all right guys, so this is self-defense.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna be showing it on him. Yeah,
Most
I'm gonna be
guys are
showing it
crackers.
on him. He's gonna show. We're gonna show some moves, basic MMA drills and stuff, and then he'll finish off with the yoga cool down. And so this is something we're working on. It's gonna be at the gym. We're gonna have that in August, so keep your eyes peeled out for that. But if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, it's Power Flowin'. So flowing, but with an N, like skip the G, because we're super cool and hip.
You guys are hip.
Power
You guys are young. You guys
Power
are
flowing. It shows our whole road trip. It shows our whole fitness journey with food. It's all healthy food. It's all vegan food mostly. We just started eating, like I said, we just started eating fish again. So all the food right now that's on there is all vegan.
Okay.
But it is going to continue. We're going to start adding some fish in there and stuff. But it's really cool Instagram. Like we have cool pictures of us hitting mitts, like over by the lake, doing yoga, like on the side of the road on a road trip. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's I'll after this I'm gonna get you some information. I talked about the jiu-jitsu powerhouse out in Utah. She does a lot with self-defense as well.
Awesome. Yeah, please.
I bet you guys could work on something.
Us.
Yeah, I bet you guys could work on something cool together. She's awesome. Mio is her name.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure you know her. If you're in the jiu-jitsu world, she's pretty established. Anyways, we'll talk after. I after our show, I got her. I reached out to a bunch of people to get her on the radio talking about her self-defense class. I was like, we need a bigger platform to talk about this, especially women's self-defense. I am a huge advocate, father of a little girl. I need her to know how to take care of herself. I need her, and I always am pushing that. So, knowing that you're putting that together, if there's anything we can do to help, let me know.
Yes.
We're all about it. Undefeated by Choice podcast. We're all about that. Last question. How many times do you listen to your new favorite song before you start to hate it?
I was just talking about that class today. You know that song "Nice for What"?
If you started singing it, and I hope you do, if you started singing it, I would.
Let's not. That'd be real bad. But it came on in my class today because I always make playlists for my classes. Like I have to make. If I'm not jamming in my class, like it's not happening. It's the energy's just like. So but I got asked to teach this class yesterday night. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't make a playlist. Like, oh, what am I going to do? So luckily I had one of my old playlists already in the system on Spotify. So I'm like, I guess we're going to play my old playlist. Like, I hate replaying playlists for my classes. So we did it. And I'm like, all right, I'm good. Like, this is a really good playlist. And then Nice for What comes on. And I'm like, you guys ever play a song so many times and you just hate it?
That was it.
I was like, this is it.
So nice. Then my next question was be, what is your next favorite song that is now hated? You answered it already. Nice for What.
Oh my gosh, I overplayed that song so much, but you know,
I am the worst.
You know who I can listen to, like over and over, and I'll never get tired is J-Lo. So also part of the dude that's in my best friend Instagram account, he holds pads for J-Lo's manager, Benny Medina. So he got us freaking VIP tickets to see J-Lo, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry, like I can die happy now. I just seen J-Lo in concert. I met her, I shook her hand, I was like smelling her when we took the picture.
What does she smell like?
She smells like heaven and roses and unicorn glitter and all the nice things in the world.
I wouldn't be able to talk. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't get a picture.
I had this thing in my head the whole time. I was like, I'm gonna say this to her. Like we're gonna shake her hand. I'm gonna say this and this. Like we're like having this conversation. Like as we're about to go up, we both meet her and we're like, nothing.
I wouldn't even got up to meet her. I would have been like, no, because it's an inconvenience to her to have to talk to me, and I don't want to be an inconvenience to this person. There's a fighter here in Vegas that I was bugging Destiny about like getting me to meet, and I was like, if she actually did it, I wouldn't be good. Really? It would not be impressive.
Who is it?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
I brought it up on the show because I told my producer if he doesn't give me an interview with her, He's fired. So Nick, you're fired, by the way. No. Claudia.
Oh, yeah.
I crush on her a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I crush on her a little bit. And I was like, I kept like telling Destiny, I'm like, yeah, if you could just tell Claudia, if you could just get Claudia on the interview. And I was really like, if I actually did it, I could not.
Can we just take a picture, actually?
I couldn't. I'll be like, someone else going to have to do the interview. I'm just going to sit here in the room.
Funny.
No, I don't know how you actually took a picture with J-Lo, but good for you. You're better. You're above me on like the social level. Like getting out there, you're above.
But
me.
I'm very on my Instagram game, so I was like, no, it's for Instagram.
It has to be on.
It has to be for Instagram.
But that was on your Power Flow one.
Yeah.
It didn't show up on yours.
No, I posted it. I did post it on mine. You missed it. You did not see my picture with J-Lo? Are you kidding me?
We're Instagram best friends.
Why did you not see it?
I've been following you for years and I didn't see it.
I'm kind of heartbroken that you haven't seen this.
I'm going to go back and find it. I'm going to go back and you're going to see Matt like this photo.
I'm touching her. You have to see it.
I dropped the ball. All right. Anyways, so on behalf of Athletic Republic, we got a little gift bag for you. So that is just a little something. Thanks for coming on the show.
I love presents.
Yes.
Keep it forever.
You're actually the first guest that's ever gotten a gift from us.
Oh, I feel so special.
Yeah. I did have one guest that I gave some Alpha Brain to. Not a whole bottle, just a couple pills of Alpha Brain. That's the only other gift I've
free
given.
Stuff is the best stuff.
You for coming out.
You could give me a rock, and I'd be like, "Thank you."
I could have.
Yeah.
I'll get you a rock. Thank you for coming. This is an awesome
Thanks for having me.
podcast episode. Everybody, be good to yourself. Be good to each other. I love you.